Hello again, everybody. Let's paint. I've got a canvas already open here. It's 8 by 10, 72 pixels per inch. And I've already got a color selected. Let's lighten it up a little bit. And I've got the big wet sky and cloud brush. And let's reset it just to make sure it's the original settings. And I'm just using swirls and a light pressure. Actually, no pressure. Just letting the brush do its thing. Okay, let's go with a little lighter color. We'll put in some little darker at the top. Lighten up the pressure. No pressure now. Putting some pressure on it to put color on. No pressure, letting that blend in. Okay, let's pick another color. That's phthalo blue. And light pressure. Just putting a little hint of dark on there. Same down here. A little more on this side. This is going to be the shadow side. Okay. We'll call that sky. And let's put in a cloud, a couple clouds maybe. Let's go with the, let's go with smoky clouds this time. Why not, huh? And let's pick a blue. No, I'll tell you what. Let's pick Indian yellow. And we're going to put the value up to about 250, I'd say. And let's see what that looks like. It might be too yellow. Might not. Let's put it up to about 253. Okay, that's nice. Just want some hints of clouds. Don't have to be anything special. We can use the wispy brush to put in a little wispy cloud, very faint. Okay, let's put a new layer and let's get the, what do I want? Let's get the big fill-in brush. Okay, now let's pick a green, and we want it real light because we're going to put in the faraway trees first. That's too dark. There. Okay. There. Now let's darken that color. Let's go on another layer just in case we want to make some changes or do something. We'll have those on a separate layer. We'll call that far trees. Now make sure you're on the layer you actually want to paint on. And let's put in trees that are a little closer. I don't like that. I've made those too tall. I'm gonna start back over. Okay. There. That's better. I hope that's better. Okay, now let's darken them up again. And let's darken them up again. Now this is the dark side, so we want these really dark. No, I don't want to do that. That's too much of a change. I might put some a little more darkness on this side because this is the shadow side. But even on this side, being the sun side, you still have to have some dark in here to put your highlights on. So I don't know, we'll just call that trees. So that's that layer, and that's that layer. Make sure you're on the trees layer, and I want to go back, and I want to put in a little more color here on this side, showing that's the darker side. Okay. That'll probably be okay. Now, I put reflections on this side, but I didn't put any reflections on this side because we're going to have something here and a couple more trees. But we've got that basically blocked in, and now we need to move on to the next step, which will be highlighting, putting in trunks and highlighting. I want to put on another layer here, and I want to put in more shadow on this side, on the right hand side, because the sun's coming from the right and it's going to cast a shadow on the water or whatever we're going to have here. So I've got the light color picked, so let's just put in the light color here. Now let's put in a darker color. We'll call that water shadow, I guess we'll call it. Now let's get the water reflections brush. And let's drag that down to make water out of it. So we know where the water is easier. And we can drag that across a little. This brush has a tendency to pull paint from the very edge, so go in that direction. Go towards the edges. Okay, that's good. We could, let's go to the water shadow again, and let's pick the tree brush and we'll put in some reflections here too. Most of this is going to be covered up, but we don't know. We'll call that reflections. That's the same layer as the other side, see? We'll just have it all on the same layer. And we'll drag that towards the center. Okay. Now we can put in, normally on the closer trees, we can put in an actual shore, but on the farther away trees, let's just put in, this is a shoreline, and let's pick a blue. Wait a minute, let me go on another layer. And we'll call this distant shorelines. Okay. Just put them in here and there. Wherever you think you'll see the shore. We're going to do more highlights to this. Okay, now we're close enough here that we could have an actual shore. So let's get the fill palette knife, and I want it flat, and let's pick a brown. Make it dark first. I'm pressing fairly hard, not real hard. When I press light, you get that texture like this. So you get a texture, and then the harder you press, then the more paint it puts on. Okay, let's pick a lighter color, and I'll just put on some highlights here and there. Let's pick a little lighter color for this side. Okay. Okay. Now we can go back to the shoreline brush. And put in a little bit of a shore, or whatever you want to call it. Bring that out a little. Do that over here. I could have made that brush a little smaller. That's a little, it's not bad though. It's okay. If it's too bad, I have to change it, but I think it's fine. Just throwing this color around a little. Okay. That has a lot of depth. You notice that depth? By varying those colors, it really gives it a lot of depth. Okay, let's call that shorelines close, I guess. And well, I guess it's going to open like that. We'll call that a shore. Okay. Okay. Then I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the mountain fill, and we're going to go back to brown, and I'm going to pick a lighter color, and I'm going to put in more of a shoreline back in here. Let's make the brush smaller, and because I think it's too big, too much of a jump. That's too big. Okay. Oh my goodness. Look where it put my layer. Let's get rid of that. And let's come up here. Okay. Let's make it smaller still. And let's lighten that up. And we'll just put in some indication of a shoreline there. Okay. Now let's get the blender. And we'll make the blender tiny. And we'll just blend that shoreline in. See how that just kind of disappears? Okay. That's good. Okay, let's call that blend shore, and we'll call that distant shore. Let's see, layer 1 probably doesn't have anything on it. See, when you use a thick paint brush, it makes its own layer. So we'll just put that layer on top and we'll start using it. I think that looks better. That looks better to me. It looks like the shore's just kind of fading away. The shoreline here. Could have made that transition a little better. When you do it, you'll have more time. You can make it nicer. Okay, let's grab the twig brush and let's put in some distant trees here. Let's darken that up a little. That's too high up. I don't mind them a little ways up because you see that once in a while. But when it's that high up, that's a little too much maybe. Wait a minute. That was too long. The highlights may or may not cover that up. So okay, this closer tree, make it a little darker. And the closest trees here, we'll make it the darkest. And just here and there, put a little here, put a few dewars right there. Okay, there's that part. We'll call that distant. Well, it's all just call them tree trunks because it's all of them so far anyway. Yeah, see there? Okay. We're going to start with the distant trees, and we're going to put some highlights on those trees, just here and there. They're pretty light, so it's going to be hard to see. We don't want to change them very much, but we do want, because the sun is coming from the right, we want to put some sun here and there. And even on this side here at the top, once in a while, just kind of spread it around a little. This is the main side that's going to get the sun. It's a little heavy. Okay. Let's go back to the green and just put a few highlights here and there on that tree. Same way over here. Go a little lighter. Oh, too much. You see when it's light and you tap, you can hardly notice it, but when you got a little bit of a dark and you tap, it really stands out. So you have to be careful about that. That's still too much. We're going to save that spot for our sun hitting here and there. Okay, there's that. Now let's come to the close trees. And we'll pick a green. And just kind of trying to make some clusters of leaves. Just give a indication that there's leaves on these trees. Not trying to fill it everywhere. Just here and there. Now let's darken that down and do it on this side, because this is the shadow side. So I'm going to leave that area nice and dark, make it look like you're going back into the land there. Okay, now let's go to the Indian yellow, and let's say that there's some light coming through, right here. And, I don't know, right here. So we got light coming through the trees here. Actually, let's not do that lower one. Let's have it up higher. Let's say that it's right there. Okay. Now on this side, leave the color the same. And we'll just put them here and there. Now let's brighten that up and we'll see if it makes it too much, or let's go down here. Let's brighten it up even more. Yeah. Okay. All right, there's that. Okay, I got the detail palette knife, and let's put some sun. Let's put some sun here and there on the shore. And let's put some sun out here in the water. Maybe there's some leaves or who knows what. We'll call that, we should have called it shore sun, but let's get the sun ray brush, and we'll just have some sun rays coming through. Maybe that's what's shining down on the water here. Not too heavy. That might be too heavy. Okay. Call that sun ray. Okay, let's get the, what do I want? I want the fill knife. And let's pick a brown. No, I don't want the fill knife. Let's go with, let's go with the big tree fill in. And we got a dark brown. Let's make a new layer. Oops. Make it even darker. Just blocking in some color here so we can show the light. See, that already looks like there's leaves or something there. Okay, now let's get the tree trunk brush, and we'll leave it a dark color, and let's put in a tree. Where do I want it? Let's see what it looks like right here. Okay, there's one. Make it a little bigger. Yeah, let's put another one right in the corner here. Make it a little wider. Okay. And this is close tree, plural. And that's close ground. And let's put a new layer on here, because we're going to highlight this tree, and I want it nice and rough. So we need another layer. And let's turn this brush 90 degrees. And that color is probably okay there. We'll see. Oh yeah. That's nice. See how nice and rough that is and how that looks like tree bark? And we'll come up this tree. All right. Now let's get Indian yellow. And we'll put some sun on this tree here and there. Okay. Now let's get the twig brush. And let's go back to the brown. And let's put in some limbs. I'm not going to put in very many. You can put in as many as you want. That'll be okay. Now let's get the big bold leaves. We want big bold leaves. Now let's pick a dark brown. Brown? How about a dark green? Okay. Let's start putting in some leaves. I didn't want too many leaves here because I don't want to cover up everything in the background, but so there's that. Now we can pick a lighter color for highlight, and I'm going to turn on preserve transparency, and that'll only allow me to paint on the paint that's already on this layer. See, I can't paint here, but I can paint here. And that's just putting paint already on the leaves that are there. And now we can go to the Indian yellow, put on some highlights. Now I'll turn off the preserve transparency, tone that down a little bit, and put on some additional highlights here and there. Okay, there's that part. Okay, I've already switched to the Leave Soft brush because it takes time to load in. And let's make a new layer. And I've picked a green. And we're going to start doing nothing. Oh, got to select the brush. Okay, here we go. Now, we're just going to put this here and there, make it look like grass or something. Okay, now let's go to Indian yellow and let's put some sparklers in here. We'll tone that down. Okay, now let's get the mountain brush. Get the fill. And let's flatten that. And let's get a darker color. Put in a path. And let's lighten that up. Put on some highlights. I'm not using a separate layer this time. I just wanted that to be kind of smeary. And let's put on another layer. We'll go to the gold. And let's get the detail knife. And we'll put on a little bit of sun here and there. Okay. Let's go to the leaves bush brush. And let's go to green. Put in a couple of bushes here and there. Okay. Let's go to leaves coarse. No, I don't want leaves coarse. I'm sorry. It's clumpy that I wanted. Let's see what color that is. Okay. Okay. Let's take the twig brush and let's sign this painting. There it is. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you'll try painting it. I hope you'll enjoy that too. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye. Oh, I forgot to say that you can go to udemy.com and you can get these brushes there. So check it out on Udemy. We'll put a link so you can just click it. Okay, thank you.